Welcome back to coldwaters.mod. I'm Captain Numpty, or David Steele, and today I'm going to be showing you how to take on 15 enemy submarines in .mod with realistic difficulty and survive. Okay, so we've been in this scenario for a few minutes now, and I've let things pan out a little bit, and we've gotten lucky this load because we can detect the bad guys, and they're all moving about 5 knots. So there's a lot of targets. That's a wonderful target-rich environment, and I'm very happy with what we're seeing here. We've got a track on most of them. In fact, I think there's only one we don't have two we don't have a track on. Everything else we've got a good track, and there's some pretty decent boats out there. We have a Papa class, a Mike class, and an Oscar class. The primary target are the cruise missile boats, the SSGNs. They're all nuclear powered, by the way. So how do we tackle this? Well, first things first, I am way too close. I mean, I really don't want to be as close as this. This is really not smart. That it just so happened I had to get that close to be able to hear them, and sweep through the targets and see if anything can hear me, because there's a good chance that some of them are getting close. No, the highest I've seen is 6 decibels, and that's with their towed array. So that is good news. So right now we are undetected. Okay, the Sierra 15, the Sierra class has got 8 decibels towed array. I'm going to go ahead and turn away from them. I'm going to turn south. Let's go with a 162. Let's see if that changes. So the plan right now is I'm going to fire 4 torpedoes and book it the heck out of here. I'm going to end up heading south, or probably southeast. Potentially 15 knots, but probably quicker, because they're going to detect these torpedoes very quickly. They're going to ping me with their active sonar. They're going to get a fantastic return, and they're going to fire upon me. And some of these boats are going to have really very effective weapons. So first things first in .mod, you want to set your torpedoes up to have an attack run. Now as I cycle through the targets, most of them are fairly shallow, 300 feet or less. That is interesting. It's a little unusual, but okay. In fact, so here's one. This is a Charlie 1 that's pretty much periscope depth. So I'm going to push F2. Let's take a look. Alright, that's a wonderful shot. There's a lot of boats on the surface there. So normally I would set the torpedoes to run at the same depth as me. So right now you look at the torpedo section on the bottom right of the display, and they're all, that third arrow is pointing level. I could put some of these to surface, but I'm going to put them to attack the submarines. And so you push 3, you cycle through. You can also click on the icon. So this little symbol here. And this doesn't always work, but I'm going to go through and do that to all 4 torpedoes, because I'm going to fire all 4. And I'm going to break the wires are going to break, and I'm going to end up reloading and probably get one of those to be a Moss, as I might need it. Now in terms of weapons, we're a little shortchanged because we have 4 Mosses and a total of 14 Mark 48s. So I don't have enough weapons to be able to tackle all of these. So I'm going to have to rely, if I want to take out all 15, I'm going to have to rely on a bit of...
Con, helm, steady course.
Not steady course, a bit
Con sonar, Sierra 1-3 is classified as submerged submarine.
Yes, I got that one wrong. Sierra 1-3 is actually a Victor 1. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to have to rely on them shooting themselves in the foot, and there's lots of them. That's going to be pretty easy for them to do. So let's go ahead and fire. Oh, and something else I'm going to do. I'm going to set the torpedoes to go live. So their range is 3,000 yards. If I've got it outside of 3,000 yards, there's a good chance that they're not going to detect me if they circle back. But These targets are 4,500 yards. I think I want them to go live beforehand. And I'm going to make one of them active sonar. So this is going to be torpedo number 1. I'm going to fire one. Let me see. Juicy targets. It'd be nice if we get these. But I'm going to go ahead and fire it pretty much due west. Now once I've fired this, the game will be up. In fact, I'm going to fire it and go to 15 knots immediately and drop my depth. Let's go ahead and get ready. This is going to get busy very quickly. There's going to be a lot of activity going on. I'm going to get detected pretty sharpish. Some of them have rocket launch torpedoes. That is also a problem, or will be a problem. So let's go ahead and do it.
Shoot 2-1.
Speed up to 15 knots, drop my depth. Look at that.
Sierra 1. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1, 5.
Come on, let's go
Con
ahead
sonar,
and do
Sierra
that.
1, 3 is cabin.
Con maneuvering, making turns.
Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 1,
Wowzers.
4. Con passing 700 feet.
So, as predicted, all heck's broken loose. Let's get the towed array in. I'm going to go ahead and just drop my depth. Speed up to 20 knots.
Make turns for 20 knots.
Don't
Maneuvering eye.
know what blew up.
Passing 800. Con sonar, launch transient from Sierra 4.
But it wasn't me.
Make depth 1200 feet, dive high.
Okay, I'm losing wires. That's completely fine. Let's get a Moss loaded here. Let's get a Moss loaded immediately. Yep, so this torpedo is anticipating where I'm going, so I'm going to go ahead and head east.
083, helm eye.
Let's make this torpedo live.
Con, fire control. Con, sonar, lost contact. Sierra, 8. Last bearing, 2, 9, 7. Contact is in the baffles. Con, sonar, lost contact. Sierra, 2. Last bearing, 2, 6,
I had a
6.
couple of them
Contact is in the
live.
baffles.
There's a lot
Con,
going on
sonar,
right now.
lost contact. Sierra, 1, 4. Last bearing, 2, 5.
Con, helm, steady course.
Really
Con,
need this.
sonar, regained contact on. Sierra, 1. Con, sonar, torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing, 2, 8,
That's
5.
that's bad. That's very bad. Because my towed array is still out, and unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to dodge this thing easily at 20 knots.
Con, sonar, torpedo in the water. Torpedo
getting
in the
in.
water.
Come on, Moss.
2,
Come on,
3,
come on.
3.
Gonna have to decoy this.
Con,
If-
sonar, torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing, 2, 5, 6.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
Okay,
Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering eye.
have a noisemaker. Let's get another Moss loaded.
Con,
We've got
sonar,
4
lost
of them.
Contact. Sierra, 8. Last bearing, 3, 0, 1. Contact faded. Con,
Okay.
sonar, regained contact on. Sierra, 2. Bearing, 2, 7, 0. Con,
Yes, I know.
sonar, noisemaker, bearing, 2, 9, 2. Con, sonar, torpedo in the water. Torpedo in the water. Bearing, 2, 4, 8.
It's unavoidable that they detect me. And
Con,
I'm,
sonar, regained con, sonar, torpedo in the water, torpedo in the water, bearing, 2, 3, 4. Con, sonar, lost contact, Sierra, 1, 5, last bearing. Con, knuckle formed.
it's unavoidable that that they detect me, that these torpedoes, but I want a lot of them to follow the Moss to the north. Now, if I
Con,
can,
sonar, regained contact on, Sierra. Con, knuckle formed.
I can get out of their detection range, I can make
Con,
it.
sonar, regained contact on, Sierra, 1, 4, bearing, 2, 6, 5. Con, sonar, regained contact on, Sierra. Make depth 600 feet, dive high. Con, sonar, lost
Con, maneuvering, making turns for 3
Passing 1,100 feet. Con, sonar, regained contact. Con, knuckle formed. Passing 900 feet. Make depth 1200 feet, dive high. Con, knuckle formed.
Right, there's a lot going on here, which
Con
we...
sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-5, bearing 2-6-9.
And I took care of one,
Con,
which
knuckle
is good,
formed.
but there's a lot going on here. I
Con
decided to
sonar
go back...
noisemaker bearing 2-9-9.
Con, knuckle formed.
Decided to go back to 1200 feet. I'm going to basically follow this moss as much as I can most of the way
Con
in.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 1. Con sonar, torpedo in the water, bearing 220.
What did I take care of? A Mike, a Victor, and a November. Okay, that's 3 down. 3 out of 4 torpedoes have already
Con
found a
sonar
mark.
regained contact on.
Con, knuckle formed.
That's wonderful. Another 12 to go,
Con
right?
sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-0, bearing 296.
Con, dive at 120. Con, knuckle formed.
Okay, this is what I want to be, running parallel to this torpedo.
Con
Yes.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 4, last bearing.
Con, knuckle formed.
Just kind of distracting these torpedoes.
Con
Yeah.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 268. Contact is in the baffles.
Con, knuckle formed.
Con sonar, torpedo in the water, bearing 323.
They're most definitely getting hold of me, which we know, and they are detecting me, which is expected. But if they go between myself and the moss, that's perfect.
Con, knuckle formed.
Now, given there are so many, I don't think I'm going to be able to evade all of
Con
them.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 7, bearing 301.
If I feel
Con,
lucky,
knuckle formed.
I can give it a go. I mean, how hard can it be, right? Yeah, very hard.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 2, bearing 266.
Con, knuckle formed.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-5, bearing 259.
Back emergency. Maneuvering eye. Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering eye.
Con, torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
Don't know if anything's actually tracking me right now. But there's a low. This is
Passing
a
1200 feet.
little worrying. Let's go ahead and drop my, increase my depth even. Should reduce my depth, drop my depth, head towards the surface a little
Passing
bit.
1100 feet. Passing 1000 feet.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1-5, last bearing 256. Con
Passing 900 feet.
Okay, so far so good. These 2 mosses, if I can drag some of the torpedoes west, that's very useful. We'll get another one loading up very soon.
Con, knuckle formed.
Right now, nothing is tracking me. That's about to change. Yeah, it just did. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, look at all those 5
Con
torpedoes to
sonar
my
lost
south.
contact. Sierra 1-2, last bearing 293. Contact is in the baffles. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing
Which tor-
266.
Where's the torpedo tracking me then? 'Cause I
Con
don't...
sonar regained contact on Sierra 6, bearing 270.
Con, knuckle formed.
I don't see it. But it's still there. So
Con maneuvering. Making turns for 3 knots.
it's going to go back up to speed, which is nice.
Con sonar regained contact.
Con, knuckle formed. Make depth 1200 feet. Dive high.
My depth back down to
Con
1200 feet.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 1-2, last bearing 293. Contact is in the baffles. Con sonar.
Con, knuckle formed.
I'm going to fire some more torpedoes in their direction. So you
Make
can
turns for 20 knots. Maneuvering eye.
you can fire
Make
at
turns for 20 knots. Maneuvering eye.
you can fire at 20 knots. So
Shoot 2-2. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 7, bearing 29.
Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering eye.
That was very crude, very
Make
dirty,
depth
but hey,
120 feet. Dive by.
I got 3 on the way, and then there's a little bit of a panic moment as I saw a torpedo coming right up my... I decided, yeah, you know, I
Knuckle formed.
think I actually don't want to get out of this guy's way. There's another 3 on the way. We want to try and keep them defensive and not knowing what earth's going on. That's tough to do, but it's possible. And just ducking and diving out of torpedoes and occasionally bringing your speed back down to 20 knots.
Con, dive at 1200 feet. Dive by.
And lobbing a few more torpedoes
Knuckle formed.
in their direction. Now this torpedo to my northeast is a little concerning because he's about to circle back. He might be about to circle back and attack me again. Yeah, oh, he's going to go for the moss. Okay, he's going to circle back, so I'm going to try
Con, knuckle formed.
a knuckle and see if that hides me from him, and it may not. Yeah, he's
knuckle formed.
it's going for the
Sonar
knuckle.
lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 277. Contact faded.
So the logic here is
Sonar regained contact on Sierra 4, bearing 2.
Con, knuckle formed.
Is that
Con, maneuvering, making turns for 3 knots.
Con, knuckle formed.
logic here is that the torpedo knows to track a knuckle, so it's still heading my way. If I just have to deal with one as opposed to however many there were at one point, I'm doing okay.
Con, knuckle formed.
I mean, define doing okay when there's still a lot of yeah, there's still 12 out there. Alright, well, I'm going to keep knuckling away, and I'm going to pause the recording for a little bit, and I'll be back when there's something else going on other than me being tracked by a whole bunch of torpedoes.
Con, knuckle formed.
On Sierra 2, bearing 278.
Okay, well,
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 3, bearing 294. Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 7.
so what happened was I ended up resuming the video whilst they were talking, but they
Con
were not.
sonar regained contact. Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 7.
Not stop making noise, which is very annoying.
Shoot tube 2. Aye, sir.
This one live.
Con sonar lost contact. Con sonar launch transient from.
Okay, now that's bad news, because what that
Con,
means...
Fire control, weapon countermeasure.
Con sonar launch transient from.
Come left to 179, helm aye.
That means is
Con
that they...
sonar. No.
Make turns for 15 knots, maneuvering aye.
Con
Is-
sonar lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 2.
Con, maneuvering,
Can
making
you let
turns for
me get a word in?
15 knots.
Right. What that means, that is that launch alert
Torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
is that they
Con
have...
sonar noisemaker bearing 3.
Con, helm, steady course.
that they are basically just going to keep on talking. So, okay. I think I want that one to be to be passive. So, there's a torpedo winging its way to me as
Con
we
sonar
speak.
noisemaker bearing 287.
So I dropped a moss because
Tube 4. Aye, sir.
Con
moss.
sonar noisemaker. Con sonar launch transient from.
So they've given their location away. It's right here.
Con
But
sonar noisemaker bearing 278.
come on, come on, come on, come on. Torpedo 2 detect the Alpha. It's right ahead of
Con
you.
sonar
Thank
noisemaker bearing 286.
Okay. So there's 2 targets for Torpedo 2 to engage.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Okay, I mean that's great. This one. Look at that. Beautiful. So there's the
Con
Alpha's being
sonar
chased.
noisemaker bearing
It
279.
looks like.
Con,
still-
fire control, weapon countermeasure homing. Con,
still have-
fire control, weapon acquired.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 2, last bearing 2, 8, 3. Contact breaking up.
So the torpedo chasing the Alpha, I've just diverted it towards Sierra 4 to hunt down that Victor, because I kind of don't really want to end up losing a
Con
bunch
sonar, noisemaker bearing 2, 7, 2.
of
Con,
torpedoes.
fire control, weapon acquired.
Send 3 north to try and intercept. Well, there's an Akula there and there's a Sierra there, so send this one north to try and intercept this Sierra here, like so. And number 4.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, last bearing 3, 0, 1. Contact faded.
Can keep going.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 5, last bearing 3, 3, 0. Contact is in the baffles.
Okay, come on, come on. I'm guiding number 2 in towards Sierra 4, the Victor 2. Why haven't you detected it? Come on, it's right there.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 2, 9, 7.
There we
Con
go.
sonar
Got him.
lost contact. Sierra 4, last bearing 2, 7, 4. Contact breaking up.
And I don't know where those airborne torpedoes ended up, but not by me. So that's good. And I'm doing 15 knots, and I suspect they don't know where I am, which is very good. I guess do I really want to stop or slow down? Yeah, I think I do,
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
because I could do with knowing where the Sierra 15 is.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 4, last bearing 2, 7, 4. Contact faded. Con sonar regained contact on. Sierra 1, 5, bearing 3, 3, 5.
Okay. The Akula may have just gotten quiet. Or maybe not. And it looks like I've got 2 Mark 48s chasing him, which is...
Con sonar regained contact on. Sierra 1, 4, bearing 2, 7, 4.
which sucks for him. They're not wire guided, so I can't deploy one somewhere else. So that potentially means I may not be
Con
able
sonar,
to
come right to 2, 4, 5. Helm aye.
take out 14. Could be looking at 12 or 13, and that's a
Con sonar regained contact on. Sierra 3, bearing 3, 0, 2.
okay. Torpedo 3 has detected Sierra 15, the genuine Sierra, which is nice. Torpedo 4 is...
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 3, 4, 0.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
So Cooler's going at some rate of knots. Well, 33, but... So... I'm not entirely sure if, one, I can catch him.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1, 5, last bearing 3, 4, 1. Contact breaking up.
Which is nice and all, don't get me wrong, but I don't know whether Torpedo 4 can catch the Akula. What's its time to go? So the bottom left it shows, 27 minutes. That's actually kind of good, but where's everyone gone? So Sierra 14, okay. He's heading away from me. We can verify that. He's got minus 50 for his active and passive sonar on the bottom right side of the display, which means his tail's pointing towards me. I'm in his baffles. The Oscar is
helm, steady course.
is a primary target.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 3, 0, 8.
Looks like this Akula's being hunted by a Mark 48, which is nice. So I don't necessarily need this torpedo
Con, torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
to go the same direction. I can't guarantee that my Mark 48 is going to take out Sierra 7, but it might, and that would be good. If the objective of today's tutorial Whether I call that
Con
tutorial.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 1. Con sonar noisemaker bearing 307. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1 bearing 306.
It's hard to call it a tutorial when you see me maneuvering this boat very aggressively and not get sunk by a torpedo, but yeah, how many have we taken out? 7, it looks like. Okay, so we're kind of halfway there, and
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 305.
we've only got 4 torpedoes left, so we've used up way more torpedoes than we've taken out targets. That's to be expected against modern boats.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 2 bearing 287.
The Mark 48 is a wonderful, wonderful torpedo, but it's not a miracle worker. I'm making a torpedo fall live. It's passively seeking contacts. If I can find and get this Charlie 1, that would be appreciated, but I don't know that I can. Can it detect me? Now you see, it's heading away from me, so possibly head it in this direction. What's its depth? Close to the surface. Okay. Do this. So I'm using the numpad to point the torpedo, or get the torpedo to closer to the same depth. But I don't know that I'm gonna spook it.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
There we go. Let's ping him with the torpedo's sonar. Yeah, it's gonna lose its contact.
Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 8. Con sonar launch transient from Sierra 8.
Sierra 8's all the way up there. Okay. The Charlie does have
Con
the...
sonar regained contact on Sierra 5 bearing 310.
I'd like a better idea of his location, but okay. Yeah, and active sonar's not picking him up, it's just spooking him, so let's turn that off and see if we can... There we go. Oh, that's annoying. If you steer them right after they detect, they don't always... Good grief, there's lots around here, lots of targets.
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 287.
I'm guessing it's going for the Echo 2. I think Sierra 3. No, it's... Oh, no, it's going for the Moss. Okay, that doesn't help me. But that Mark 48 is also going for the Charlie 1, so, like, guys, make up your mind, what are you going to go for? But you see how one torpedo is creating havoc in the Russian squadron? I would say formation, but it's more of a squadron. So maybe the Sierra...
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 289.
Maybe Tube 4 can go ahead and attempt to intercept the Akula, which I believe is right in the middle of its sensor range, and actually should be able to detect it. It looks like it's running a little deeper than the torpedo. Those 2 torpedoes heading south from a sort of northwest position of me, some distance away, going towards where the enemy thinks I might be, so they have no idea where I am. Well, they may have an idea where I am, but they might not have identified me yet. I mean, it should be obvious from the amount of destroyed submarines close to me that, I mean, they're kind of pointing towards me,
Con
but...
sonar noisemaker bearing 291.
But the sort of situation awareness that we see here is not necessarily what they would have, and it's also not what they would have in reality. I'm not detecting the Akula with the torpedo. Let's try pinging it with active sonar from the torpedo. Don't think it's gonna spook
Con
it.
sonar noisemaker bearing 294.
Oh, there we go, and it's detected it. It did work. I did spook it. So whatever the Akula was thinking, it didn't work. And there's a couple of torpedoes
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 317.
heading south, and so it's possible
Con
that...
sonar lost contact. Sierra 2 last bearing 294. Contact breaking up.
We got the Papa class. Well, that's good to know. Didn't really expect that. So we've got an Oscar that's pretty much west. Let's see how fast he's going, if we can estimate that. 12 knots. Okay, well I can catch that. I mean, it's going to be a slog, but I can catch it. He's estimated 16,000 yards.
Noisemaker bearing 316.
16,000 yards. So part of me is like, yeah, we might be able to fire one from here and track him. But
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1-4. Last bearing 267. Contact faded.
may have just dropped his speed. I need torpedo 4 to attack Sierra 7, effectively attack.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
I don't really want to guide it in, but I'd like to see Boom Boom, because seeing Boom Boom is good.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 316.
And I'm going to guide it in a little bit.
Con, fire control,
because-
weapon acquired.
Hey, it
Con,
worked.
fire control, weapon acquired.
Ah. It's a shame. Sneaky bugger got away from me, but I'll circle back and attack him again.
Con, fire control, weapon countermeasure homing.
There we go. Detected something. I think it's him. Not going to ping it because it will lose track on it, but we must be getting close.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 3.
That's how close we are, and immediately the noisemaker causes him to just lose interest in the target. I think it's this way. Come on. That's kind of annoying when that happens. I mean, it's an effective technique just to evade the guy, or evade me.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Yeah, I really want to watch it explode, but I don't know that I can. Still tracking him, which is nice. Maybe if he drops a noisemaker,
bearing 322.
ping the sonar active like so, and see if we can at least see
Con
him.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-4 bearing 267.
Nothing. No. So again, it lost. And if I turn off active sonar, yeah. So I lose visual on him with the Chi cam, which is kind of realistic, but I don't know where he is. He's gone.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Con
Okay.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 1-4. Last bearing 267. Contact faded.
I'll keep circling him until I get him. I'll run out of fuel.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 3.
Seriously, again? And he's turning... He's going from my right to my left.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
Hey, there we go. That hopefully is gonna get him. Any second now.
Con sonar
Yay.
lost contact. Sierra 7. Last bearing
Ooh.
324.
Yeah,
Contact breaking up.
Forgot to mention that. So it takes a couple of hits sometimes. He took two great big holes in the side of his hull there. Okay. I still have. I see. I've got not that many reloads. How's she looking? Not even a scratch. Not a dent. Not a scratch. And we did a lot of evading. I don't know I can catch Sierra 14, but I can certainly take care of some of these. So let's go ahead and get another torpedo out. This time I'm going to fire it. Let me see. It's quite a distance. 14,000 yards, but then I would really like...
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 5. Last bearing 320. Contact faded.
I'd like to use the weapons range. I think that's pretty useful. What depth is he? Close to the surface. I don't know if I can use a harpoon to attack something on the surface. Probably not, because unless he's surfaced, which he's not, I can't attack it. So right now, he's still a viable target. He's bumping along at just 5 knots. There's a Charlie 1 and an Echo 2, and they're all primary
Con,
targets.
torpedo room, tube 4 ready.
There's 2 Charlie 1s, I should say. So I think I want to try and track or attack all of these. And yeah, that's a feels like a tough order.
Shoot 2-3. Aye, sir.
But I've got 4 wires, so I'm very happy with that.
Shoot 2-4. Aye, sir.
Right, I'm going to pause the recording of the video so it's not too long, but right now I think I've achieved my objective. I've survived the engagement.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 8, last bearing 329. Contact faded.
I have unfortunately still got at least one primary target that's slipped west, and that's the Oscar. Don't think I'm going to be able to get him, but okay. If I can take out another 3, that would be very useful. So I'm going to go ahead and head in that direction. And I want to run to 15 knots.
Come right to 311. Helm aye.
It's kind of a moot point here because there's much less of a threat out there. There's a November, not that big a threat, and an Oscar, pretty big threat, but he's some distance away, and a Victor 2 that is an intermediate threat. So I'll pause the recording and I'll be back. Well, I ran to 15 knots, and it looks like Sierra 5 decided he would take a pot shot at me. He's popped up again, so I don't quite know where he is. I'm gonna activate these torpedoes in case, just in case, basically. And so, torpedo in tube 3 may end up engaging this Victor. I'm okay if it does. And let's just basically let these things sweep. So pretty broad spectrum there, pretty broad area of the map that's being scanned by an active torpedo. So I'm going to keep the speed at 15 knots, but I am going to head perpendicular to Sierra 5.
Come left to 232. Helm aye.
Sierra 5's capability. Yeah, so he's got a Test 71, and I think that is why. Am I guided? Yes. So he is able to guide that to me, and he will be able to detect me, and that's great. He is pretty much at the limit of his range as well. So...
Con, helm, steady course.
How big of a threat he is, but I'm just gonna... Yeah, I'm going to turn away a little bit from him. That's going to mitigate some of the range concerns I might have there. I guess I'm going to notch him, if you want to use an aviation term. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't...
Sonar regained contact on Sierra 3, bearing 309.
It does mean that he gets a pretty big sonar return on me. Okay. I'm going to make these... ping these active for just a little bit. Let's see if we can spook the Russians into noping it out of
Con
there.
sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-4, bearing 265. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 8, bearing 334.
He's heading back towards me. That's not...
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-1, bearing 297.
And it's worked.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1, bearing 337.
It absolutely
Con,
worked.
fire control, weapon acquired.
It spooked them. So that's what you can do with active sonar. You can turn on your torpedo's active sonar, and what will happen there is you'll freak the Russians out because they're like, oh no, it's really close. Never mind the fact that some of them have this anechoic coating like this Charlie 1 does. Look at the top right. It's
Con
loudness.
sonar noisemaker bearing 297.
Is 133 knots. I'm going to guide this thing in. I'm done with missing torpedoes or torpedoes scouting around and missing the victim, the target. My little mini map has disappeared, so okay. But
Con, fire control,
Go.
weapon acquired.
you're dead, pal. Know what I mean?
Con sonar
Kaboom.
lost contact. Sierra 1-1, last bearing 297. Contact breaking up.
Right, that was my last torpedo reload, so that's
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
another primary target taken care of. Torpedo 4 appears to have acquired the Echo 2, which is nice. Let's ping it with an active sonar. Yeah, he doesn't have the special coatings, so I should get a... There we go. Should be able to detect him on my sensors now. Number 3, let's ping that
Con
thing.
sonar lost contact. Sierra 1-4. Last bearing 2-6-5. Contact faded.
This
Con
Oscar...
sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-4. Bearing 2-6-5.
The fact that this Oscar is heading back towards me is a little... It's good, it means I can tackle him, but it's bad because he's well equipped. He's got you set 80s.
Con
and you
sonar noisemaker bearing 3-1-5.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
You said 80s are bad news. Something else you can do with the
Con,
actives.
torpedo room, tube 2 ready.
With the
Con
actives,
sonar lost contact. Sierra 1-4. Last bearing 2-6-6. Contact faded.
with active sonar is you can on a torpedo you push button 1, you can enable it or disable it very quickly. It'll switching mode will sometimes let the torpedo see through whatever decoy has been lobbed your way, and that can be very good.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
Drop to ultra quiet. See if I can detect this Oscar. Looks like I can disengage. Oh, look at that. So
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 3. Last bearing 3-1-8.
I'm down.
Contact breaking up.
I'm down to harpoons right now. Okay.
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
I may as well ultra quiet it, seeing as there's no point in using a harpoon against a submarine, and I'm not detecting anything with tube number 3. Let's go ahead and try and rotate it around. Let's run the sonar active. It's the Charlie one. Does it have any
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1-4 bearing 2-6-6. Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 8 bearing 3-4-0.
It does. So that's not good. Well, we've detected him, but where is he? Okay, he is to the north, it looks like, or northwest, northwest maybe. So guess we'll run him out north. Run the torpedo out north. Let's check his depth. Right, I'm at the perfect depth for it. I just can't detect him yet. Right, let's focus on Sierra 14 for just a second. This Oscar. Let me see. Estimated 18,000 yards away, and I should get a... Wow, I've only just hear him. So look at the bottom right screen. You've got their own ship. That's telling me what I can hear from him, and literally like 1 decibel on my towed array. Go ahead and turn a little more south. Give a bit more of my towed array towards him. See if we can get that a little high, because I don't know if he really is. I don't think he's 32,000 yards away, but if he's 18,000 yards, it'll help. He appears to be coming towards me though. So that's you know, yeah, it's not great in a sense. Let's make torpedo 3 head west for a little bit. I'm gonna yeah, let's let this thing run out, I think. Okay, let me pause the video and I'll be right back. If we get anything more from the from Sierra 14, I'll be back. Well, I did detect Sierra 5, the Victor 2, and then my torpedo promptly ran out of motion lotion and blew up. So that's number 1. Number 2, this Oscar was right on the nose last time I detected him, and he was not very far away. So I'm going to ignore the Victor 2 for now.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 5. Last bearing 3-2-2. Contact faded.
Can't see it anyway. We estimated this Sierra 14 Oscar to be not very far away. So a little apprehensive about this. I'm going to turn... I kind of want to head north, but Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and head north. I know it's pointing
Come
me
right
towards
to 0, 0, 0. Helm aye.
the other contacts, and there are 4 left. So it looks like we may have taken out 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so I've taken out 11. But unfortunately, 2 that remain are SSGNs. So 2 of my primary targets, 2 out of 5 remain. So I got more than half. I'd really like to get this Oscar. But that's... yeah. They're a challenge when you've got plenty of torpedoes, and I have 1. So we'll see how well this works. But let me just, I guess, pause the recording right now, and we'll let the situation continue unfolding. Right, I'm going to call it for this one. The Oscar is I don't know where he is. I'm not going to ping my active sonar. I've got 1 torpedo to defend myself with, really, and a Moss. So we are going to leave the Russians with a bloody nose and a broken arm, and we're going to head home. So that is how you survive 15 enemy submarines. I guess the golden thing is keep moving, and don't be afraid to not be going ultra quiet, especially if they have an idea where you are. Number 2, use your Mosses. They can save your life. Number 3, for goodness sake, try and keep them on the defensive, and that means lobbing a bunch of torpedoes at them whenever you have the chance. If you're evading, take an opportune moment, drop your speed to 20 knots, fire off a barrage of them, get your speed right back up to 33. Well, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. It was a lot of fun putting this together. I did this in 1 take. I didn't have to have any outtakes, which is very surprising. This in a permit or a sturgeon might be something else, and maybe that should be a follow-up video, but that's for another day. Thanks ever so much for hanging out with me. Hope that you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.